League of Legends.
I've been trying to figure out how to make this video, or if I even wanted to draw attention to the topic at all, for quite a while now. Many of you may be unaware that I used to make League of Legends videos, but for those of you who do know, hey, been a while. Did you think I was dead? Making a video about why I stopped uploading League content at this point in time is like sending in a letter of resignation after not showing up to my job for over 2 years. And also after 500 other people have already sent in their very similar resignation letters. I'm not trying to build some grand argument in an effort to tear the game apart, but since some of my audience, or shall we say co-workers, still think I work here, let's go over some of the reasons I'm done with League of Legends.
Oh, and just for context, I got removed from the League Partner Program quite a while ago, so I don't really know how to crack my knuckles.
Number 1, League of Legends. At the risk of sounding incredibly selfish, albeit not my intention, League of Legends isn't made for someone like me. The game is frighteningly competitive, as are most multiplayer games that require some amount of mechanical skill. In plenty of my past videos, I've touched on my distaste for the realm of competitive gaming due to the mindsets that breed in such environments, and League is the most primal example. It's a goddamn jungle in there. To me, League was always a game I played to have a good time with my friends. I'm the kind of guy who would be pretty content on a deserted island with nothing but a GameCube, but I can't exactly fly the boys cross-country for a round of city trial, so League being a free popular PC title made it easy common ground when looking for something to play with large groups. I'd rather it be something like Overwatch, but then we'd all have to play Overwatch. Okay, actually, yeah, definitely not Overwatch. I never had much interest in the esports scene outside of watching Worlds with friends, and I sat in Silver for 5 seasons during my sporadic attempts to play Ranked. After struggling my way into Platinum 1 time, I decided that becoming quote-unquote better than a large percentage of the player base wasn't worth the years taken off my life. I always mained whatever champions seemed the most fun, usually disregarding their place in the meta so long as they were playable. The less popular a champion is among the general player base, the more likely I was to fall in love with their quirky designs and wacky-ass kits. Singed, Bard, Ivern, Talia, Aurelion Sol, Yorick, Lillia. You take edgy assassin and hot anime girl number 552, and I receive Funny Tree Man. Watching the champions I was personally interested in get repeatedly reworked, nerfed, or flat out ignored, while the popular kids received item after buff after 100th skin reminded me of my high school days and forced me to realize that I'm nowhere near League's target demographic. The game as a whole is often balanced around pro play or the complaints of ranked players rather than just for fun, and this disconnect eventually resulted in Riot reworking my favorite champion into an awkward mess and leaving him to rot in a ditch because a couple people are too good at figuring out how to play him. Wrote an entire 8-page rant about how upset that one made me. Some people write fan fictions they never publish. I get mad about video games and write scripts that rot in my Google Drive. I'm not lamenting for some long-lost, nostalgia-fueled Season 3 like every League player and their mother cries for, or trying to say that the core gameplay of Summoner's Rift isn't what it used to be. Rather, I finally made the realization that I play video games for fun, and League of Legends is a game that continuously drifts further and further away from casual play to appease the people that inflict 10 points of bludgeoning damage to their mental state by queuing up for Ranked every day. Summoner's Rift is designed to be this somehow objectively perfect 100% skill-based game mode where players reach for a hollow sense of accomplishment at the cost of actually enjoying themselves. Flipping a coin on whether or not I'm about to waste 30 minutes is a gamble I'm not willing to take as often anymore, as getting punished and falling behind in League is one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a video game, period. On a larger scale, Riot Games is a company that removes everyone's favorite game mode, Earth, because people have too much fun with it and then take longer breaks from League.
Oh goodness, they played the game more and then took longer breaks? Well, we can't have our precious lab mice stop spending their life savings on skins while hooked up to dopamine drip feeds.
Don't you just love the games as a service model?
Riot removed Twisted Treeline, which was a nice option for a break with less players, and Dominion, the premier location for video game hide and seek. Ultimate Spellbook is a great featured game mode that'll probably make up a lot of the footage in this video and be gone by the time I upload. Fuck, man, Riot made an entirely new map for Nexus Blitz, a mode that is essentially the Mario Party version of League of Legends, with great minigames and battle royales and duels with minions cheering you on and a big fuck you car that everyone can drift into the enemy team, and they removed that one too. But even if Nexus Blitz was removed for a lack of general popularity, League has been out for 11 years. It's an industry giant, one of the most played games of all time. For it to only have 2 permanent game modes with sparse featured events is just disappointing. Remember Snowdown Showdown, Darkstar Singularity, Black Market Brawlers, Ascension, Doombots, Hunt of the Blood Moon, Star Guardian Invasion, Nexus Siege, Odyssey Extraction, and Project Overcharge? I feel bad for the game designers that put hours of work into making fun modes with brand new items and assets only to have them permanently removed after a few weeks. I could continue to ramble on about this stuff, but I know everything I'm saying here goes in one ear and out the other of most players. The infinite walls of social media posts and videos about how broken or bad or toxic the game is aren't anything new, nor have they ever been enough to break the designed addiction that is League of Legends, nor do most people derive enjoyment from the game in the same ways I do. But I wanted to express my thoughts anyway, because yelling into the void is nice sometimes. I played League religiously for over 5 years, and I truly enjoyed a lot of the time I dumped into the game, but I don't look back fondly at ranked, or playing the strongest champions, or split pushing objectives to win every match as fast as possible. I look back at the funniest moments I shared with my friends, or the stupidest team comps we invented, even if they were games where we lost horribly.
Oh my god! The dragon's like, oh no.
Alright, go!
Suck it up! Perfect, I got the Phoenix stance now. That means I can kill these turrets with ease.
However, all good things eventually come to an end. Over the years, my friends and I continued to realize how awful the player base was becoming. There's very little stopping anyone from being a scumfuck bastard to their heart's content when they can just buy another level 30 account while Riot does what feels like nothing to deal with the increasingly detrimental problem of toxicity and smurfing. As a joke, I decided to play a few ranked games to see if I could get a clip of someone being a shitter, and every single match consisted of me silently eating popcorn while 4 feral rats presented court cases on why the members of my team deserved the death penalty. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried.
Oh, here we go. There's the toxicity I was looking for. Absolute shitters. GG. X9 cog.
It's like people watching more than
It
playing games.
really is. Thanks, mid lane. I'm awesome. This many years of playing for this, huh? Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
A summoner has disconnected.
Cringe.
Wow, everyone's just horrible in this game.
Oh, now he's spam pinging.
Oh, now he's pinging you. Oh, there he goes. Oh,
Yakko, you got everything you wanted from this.
Holy shit, is that a double disconnect?
Anyway, back to my point. I spent most of my time playing with friends who were fellow League creators, and we've all experienced our fair share of harassment from random viewers that would perform some combination of throwing out shitty insults, camping our lane, looking up our ranks and calling us trash, and saying hi YouTube in all chat after making sure we didn't have any fun. Trying to play off-meta builds or wacky team compositions would often result in me and the boys getting our asses kicked for 30 minutes while the enemy team practiced their scrimming skills in a normal game. For years and years, we put up with the toxicity and accepted that some matches were just gonna suck, but eventually some of us started to move away from the game. I've never seen friends at each other's throats so intensely or as silent and downtrodden as I have after a bad League of Legends match, and the game can feel so debilitating and punishing that it just feels pointless to take the gamble anymore. As my core friend group, the people that made League of Legends worth playing, stopped logging in, I felt zero desire to stick around and play on my own, and after an extended time away from the game, I realized that my time was better spent playing almost anything else. Maybe I just miss Aurelion's soul too much. Yeah, I do. I really do. Number 2, League's artistic universe. As I spent several years in the League community, and as I now continue to observe it through the lens of an outsider, I noticed that a lot of the hard work that goes into designing entertaining gameplay mechanics, art, and characters gets buried. Except for when they put a regular girl into the game and wrote her into the lore after selling the $30 K-pop skin through manipulative parasocial advertising. Sorry, where was I? The dedication that artists pour into designing new champions and fleshing out the world of Runeterra gets lost in a sea of players flaming each other, complaining about every new broken champion or rework, or joking about how League of Legends is the worst game ever and they hate playing it. Despite it being one of the most incredible fictional worlds I've ever seen, the artistic side of League just isn't something that can take the spotlight in a MOBA. Fantastic works of art, music, short stories, comics, animations, they feel like secrets hidden on the wayside for those that are interested, rather than aspects that can be fully incorporated into the actual game. An entire universe of content is developed separately from the game it supposedly takes place around.
Can you tell I'm one of the people that bought the lore book?
I've become fascinated with the dynamic ways in which video games can tell stories, and I'd absolutely adore if Riot were to add temporary map changes or gameplay elements to Summoner's Rift to reflect lore events. They could use storytelling to disable and rework champions like Gangplank in the Bilgewater event, or add more champion quests like the Hunt is On with Rengar and Kha'Zix, but they won't. It seems like Riot wants players to care about the story, but they half-ass things in areas where they could make some really cool and unique strides. The only place they're confident enough to build a world is in the client, where the supposedly world-changing event that was Ruination just boiled down to go play Summoner's Rift to unlock visual novel chapters and mission rewards. You have to understand, League of Legends isn't a video game anymore, it's a sport. I won't stop watching cinematics or reading the wonderful character bios and short stories, but Runeterra feels so disconnected from League of Legends that there isn't much to gain in a storytelling fashion from playing a match of Summoner's Rift, nor is it easy to incorporate the artistic elements into videos about the game. At this point, however, I think the creative prowess of Riot's developers and creative teams is better utilized on the new projects they have in the works, as things like the animated series and entirely new games can do much better jobs at giving Runeterra the world building it deserves, rather than implementing more client visual novels and the occasional PvE mode. I mean, it's not like any multiplayer game can ever live up to the storytelling prowess of TF2 anyway. Number 3, the content. My interest in League of Legends grew significantly starting in 2013. I would watch countless YouTube videos, from actual champion spotlights to glorious guides to comedic gameplays to montages, and I could probably still quote every line of Escape from Hell if held at gunpoint. The enjoyment I found watching Donkey is one of the main reasons I started here on YouTube.
These guys are ripping me off and they're going to jail and hell.
Mom, look, there I am! League is where I found my footing in content creation, and although I now try to avoid it due to the fact that the game is near unintelligible to anyone that doesn't play it, it's an important part of my channel's history. If you trace the multicolored hoodie in my channel art back to its roots, you might notice that it's a simplified version of the robes worn by Elderwood Bard, one of my favorite champions. I started making League videos, most of which are already private, back in 2014, which means I've been posting on this channel for over 7 years now. I'd honestly private some of these videos, but I don't know how the YouTube algorithm would feel about me old yellering several million views worth of content. My shaky history of unrelated videos shows my progress as a creator, and man have I progressed.
It has a simple concept with surprising strategy and depth to its gameplay, and it's a great game for when you need a quick break or want to have fun with your friends.
Oh buddy, you gotta make it not sound like you're falling asleep when you record the narration. As YouTube and League League of Legends changed, the content changed too. The kinds of videos I loved to watch eventually began to fade, and any remaining traces were drowned out by streamers posting highlights or high elo content creators ruining games for casual players by smurfing on accounts Riot gives them. When I left a few years ago, you couldn't go 2 fucking seconds without seeing a daily OP rework one-shot champion clickbait thumbnail with yellow text. I'm not trying to say that there aren't any good creators left, as League content definitely feels to be shifting in a more positive direction, but the type of videos I loved to create and watch don't feel like they have much of a place now. High-level gameplay analysis, champion guides, and design history feel more suited to the game's current player base than the wacky fun of ye olden days. On a technical level, I made an entire video back in 2018 about how frustrating it was to take any extra steps when it came to creating League content, from broken camera tools to false promises about replay systems to a general lack of support. The official League partner program that initially promised all sorts of opportunities was too little too late, and mostly consists of influencer exclusive skin codes that cater to League's main content source, daily uploaders, and streamers. That isn't me, it never was, and it never will be, so as time went on, there were fewer and fewer YouTubers I felt a connection with. I was part of a dying breed of creatives that wanted to do more with League of Legends than accidentally leak a new champion for views and publicity.
It's happened more than once.
League of Legends is a game I do still care about to some extent. It helped me get my start here on YouTube, I met many of my best friends through it, and I've dumped more hours into it than any other game in my life. Wait a minute, that last one isn't a legitimate reason, that's the sunk cost fallacy. Oh no. At the same time, League always felt like something constantly holding me back from my goals as a creator. I bounce from each new style, idea, or maniacal rambling to the next just about every month, so I feel lucky that a chunk of my audience happened to stick around. I'm not lying when I say I'm afraid to associate myself with the game at all nowadays, this video included. Falling back into the moniker of a League creator in any capacity causes it to latch onto my very existence, like some sort of digital parasite. League viewers are somewhat infamous for only wanting to watch League content, and back in my League prime, it wasn't hard to find comments like, "Where is League of Legends?" or "Please more League of Legends," or "If there's no Magikarp use fly, I'm gonna put a dislike, sorry." But fear isn't the main reason I don't make League content anymore, as I honestly just don't feel the drive or inspiration I once had, and making videos on one game is incredibly limiting compared to talking about literally anything video game related. Playing the same 5 or 6 niche champions doesn't exactly give way to a lot of creative ideas other than recording games with friends, which often end up being silent, demoralizing losses as we get crushed for trying to have fun. With the toxicity problems I've mentioned throughout this video, it's also a game I don't really feel great about being associated with anymore. Upon looking back, I noticed that the community's general negativity would seep its way into my comedic style. I'd try to constantly defend myself against an onslaught of negative comments, or criticize low-effort content and EXE montages, or fall back on self-deprecating jokes about myself or my own lack of skill at the game. Now I just get the occasional post from someone saying that I won't get a girlfriend unless I cut my hair or get 1 million subscribers.
I'll take that one as a challenge. Still don't know how to crack my knuckles though.
Number 4, I love video games. At this point, you're probably thinking, alright, where's he going with this weird introspective final section? What I mean is, I love video games. Plural. There has never been enough in League of Legends to satisfy my desires to write, analyze, explore game design, and discover beautiful works of art, music, and storytelling. League of Legends is a place where I can have some fun with my friends, but it doesn't often exceed that boundary. Persona 5 Royal, Nier Replicant, Ratchet & Clank, Going Under, Hollow Knight, and Chicory are just a small handful of the amazing games I've played this year, and each one of them has left me with something new to cherish. To use an even more obtuse analogy, I'd rather travel the world and eat 1 or 2 new dishes every month than eat the same meal at McDonald's every single day. For millions of players, steadily improving and sinking thousands of hours into a single game brings them enjoyment, but that's just not how I derive value from most of the games I play. Spending quality time with my friends doing donuts in a big car is some of the most fun I've ever had in a multiplayer game, but League of Legends doesn't really provide memories that stick around. just like Riot doesn't let Nexus Blitz stick around. To everyone who's been here since my awkward, self-deprecating, joke-ridden League of Legends days, thanks for sticking around. Even though my last League-related upload was over 2 years ago, I still get recognized in every other match I play, which is kinda crazy, but also strangely heartwarming. I don't always look back fondly on many of my old videos, but taking a trip down memory lane reminded me of how much I enjoyed creating all those cinematics, and how many people enjoyed the stories I told. Granted, most of the stories were about how bad I was at League of Legends, but they were fun stories nonetheless. Thank you for watching this video. I don't have much left to say other than the fact that I'm incredibly proud of the progress I've made over the past couple years, so even if you came here looking for League content, I dare say you might just enjoy some of my new videos. Maybe you should even consider subscribing, something self-promotion, and I also have a Patreon in the description. Oh, and before I go, this wouldn't be a proper send-off without one last montage, would it?
Let's end this on a high note.
Stop it! What are you doing?
Nintendo Labo.
Nintendo Labo. They'll never catch me though. Look at us, fucking buffoons.
Hello, Runeterra. Let's rock. Ah, there you are. Let's dance. You've been wonderful, as have I.
I wonder what adventure today has in store for all of us.
Just when I start to appreciate the view, it is time to move on.
When you fall, you get right back up.
One jump ahead of you.
Smile. Everyone is watching.
I couldn't miss your performance. Let's move. I've got people to inspire.
The world's a big place. Don't want to miss any of it.
It's not how much you can lift. It's how good you look. The brightest stars shine on long after they're gone.